What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with the RK Outpost, and we are so close to Christmas, but it's safe to say that December has not been merry for CD Projekt Red, as Cyberpunk 2077, one of the most hyped games in recent memory, fell flat on its face at launch, resulting in mass refunds and poor sales, and CD Projekt Red stock plummeting after it was revealed that they lied to their investors and they misled their consumers about the state of this game, specifically on console. We're gonna get into the disappointing sales numbers that were just reported. But just a few hours ago, we had this. CD Projekt Red is officially getting lawsuits filed against them now. It's not just talk, it's not just planning, it is to the stage where lawsuits have actually been filed. A New York firm has filed a class action lawsuit against CD Projekt Red over the release of Cyberpunk 2077. Now, this is in the United States. There are also class action lawsuits going on, expected to be brought to the court in Poland, where they are actually based. And we will get into the complaints when we get into this article. Shout out to Jeremy for sending this to me. Probably realizing I hadn't made a video, so he's like, hey, maybe you should actually get on your ass and make a video on Christmas Eve. Yeah, I probably should, so here we are. Class action lawsuit filed against CD Projekt Red over Cyberpunk 2077. After the abysmal launch and many controversies, a class action lawsuit has been filed against developer CD Projekt Red in order to recover damages for CD Projekt investors under federal securities law. Now, it needs to be stated, I saw a lot of confusion with people before, a lot of confusion in the comments, even though I reiterated several times. This is not because the game is bad, not because the game is broken. It is about CD Projekt Red and their executives' behavior and what they told their investors, how effectively they lied and misled their investors the entire time. That's why there's potential for these lawsuits. This is not consumers who are mad. This is not gamers who are upset at the product that they got. There are different protections involved for the companies in these types of things. This is specifically for the CD Projekt Red investors who were told things like this. I bring it up all the time. The CEO told them that it runs surprisingly well on console, right? The CEO lied to them about the state of the game all the way along. We're going to get into some of these actual statements in this article. The lawsuit affirms CD Projekt Red failed to disclose that Cyberpunk 2077 was virtually unplayable on Xbox One and PS4, which would then result in forced refunds from Sony, Xbox, and CDPR, with the former taking the game completely off the PlayStation Store. Unprecedented for PlayStation to do something like that, to be quite honest. The lawsuit also affirms CD Projekt Red made false and misleading statements about business, operations, and prospects, and the investors of the company suffered damages when the true details entered the market. Now, this is a really good thread from Daniel Ahmed. I don't know why I'm not following him, actually. I use his stuff all the time. Rosen Law is just one of 4 law firms planning to file a lawsuit against CD Projekt Red. The argument being the company misled investors in a deceptive way about the quality of the game on last-gen consoles, which led to recent negative impact at the expense of the investing public. So that is what this is about. It's not about the fact that, well, Fallout 76 was worse than this game, or Anthem was worse than this game, or whatever you want to substitute in. It's about the behavior of CD Projekt Red and the deceptive practices, not to the consumer, but to the investor at that level. The basis for this comes after CDPR releasing the game after unplayable, negative impact for Sony delisting refunds, CDPR admitting they did not show last-gen footage, as if they had not finished that version yet. For the second question, this is from their investor meeting, right? When the executives are being held to their fire, being like, hey, what happened? How did this happen? We've actually shown console footage, but never on last-gen consoles. The reason is that we were updating the game on last-gen to the very last minute, and we thought we'd make it in time. Obviously, that was nowhere close to being true, and all the leaks we heard from the internals told us that that wasn't true. It turns out the developers were right all along. This needed way more time, months and months more time. But the executives pushed it and they lied to the investors about it. Unfortunately, this resulted in giving it to reviewers just one day before the release, which was definitely too late and the media didn't get a chance to review it. That wasn't intended. Yeah, bullshit. I've seen quite a few people say, didn't investors pressure them to get it out? No, if you look at these, that's not really what happened. The argument's more like, investor, is the game good? Can you release it this year? CDPR. It's all good, bro. Cyberpunk 2077 releases. Investor, what the fuck was that? That's 100% what it is, right? 100%. Here's the link to the filing. Quote below is from before the launch of the game when they were asked about the delay. During the call, when asked about problems with the current-gen consoles, defendant Nowakowski said, "I wouldn't say there's a problem because there's nothing wrong with the Xbox or PS4 versions. There is optimization to be handled, also because of how we're approaching things from the get-go in terms of development. So there is no problem with PlayStation 4 or Xbox, to be honest." That is the reason that this is getting filed, because these people have lied through their teeth the entire time. Now, the filing is publicly available. You can go check it out. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to look into this and try to pretend like I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I will leave that to people like Hogue Law, people like Nick Rekieta, who will break this down and do an analysis of it. Really looking forward to both of those guys speaking about this. However, while this is all going on, we did get the sales numbers in for Cyberpunk 2077. And although they are high, they are really high sales numbers, it's not nearly what they thought they would be doing. CD Projekt shares fall again after disappointing Cyberpunk 2077 sales. And you go to that stock and you can see yet again that it has fallen. Now, it did recover just a bit from that low of $17.5, like $17.50. It was low. But when you go back and look at this month, it is down over 40% from where it was initially right before the release. An absolute shocker, a gut punch for CD Projekt Red investors and anyone that is a shareholder for them. It is rough indeed and continues to get worse. Shares fall again after disappointing Cyberpunk 2077 sales. The studio said it sold 13 million copies of the game by December 20th, so in 10 days, the first 10 days, that's the number. That is an insane amount. And it does factor in the number of refund requests. And if you look into the actual statement, some refunds are calculated there, some quite aren't yet, because they're still looking at their internal numbers for what refunds they have to do through their email program. However, 13 million, any way you slice it, is an incredible amount over the first 10 days. But it's a disappointment for CD Projekt Red. That is why the stock is going down, because it failed to meet up to expectations. It was expected to sell around 16 to 16.5 million by this point. So you're looking at a $3.5 million deficit as to where they thought they would be to where they are. Now, this game is still financially successful in a huge way. 8 million pre-orders before the game even released. And you've only sold 5 million since then. Who knows how many there are actually being refunded, because they don't give us those details. All they tell us are the net number of sales with refunds factored in. Not a good look for CD Projekt Red. Anybody else would be absolutely, staggered by that. But it's not what they expected. That's the reason the stock is going down. The stock is about people's confidence in the future, right? How they are living up to the expectations as well. And when you fall short of expectations, your stock is going to continue to fall. An absolute shit show for CD Projekt Red. Now it is no longer an alleged, now is no longer an intention to have a lawsuit filed. They are getting sued for misleading their investors and in turn misleading everyone. CD Projekt Red, we've seen this massive fall for them from the very tip top of the stratosphere all the way down, now in the same breath as everyone else. For the most part, a lot of people see CD Projekt Red as the same as all these other companies. That's just not the case a week or two ago. What do you guys think about all this? Let me know in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, have a Merry Christmas, and I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my P.O. box and my Patreon as well. And I'll talk to you guys later.